You can keep your mind sharp and boost your brain health naturally after the age of 70 with these 5 secrets. Do you ever find yourself wondering how some people manage to maintain their sharpness long into their 80s? And if you are over the age of 70 and have the impression that your memory isn't quite as good as it used to be, or if you simply want to maintain your mind as clear as it was during your best years, you have arrived to the correct place. We are going to delve into 5 strategies that are not only easy to use but also quite effective in maintaining a sharp mind. Regardless of your age, these are not complicated routines or medicines that work like magic. The last secret is something that the majority of people completely overlook. But it just might be the key to preserving your mental clarity for the next decade. They are grounded in science, easy to do, and most importantly, they are habits that real people, just like you, have used to stay mentally sharp long after retirement. Stay tuned until the end, because the last secret is something that most people completely overlook. It's time to get started. The power of reading with a certain aim comes in first. The act of making reading a daily habit, not only for the goal of amusement but also with a feeling of purpose, is one of the simplest methods to maintain your brain in good form at all times. Reading anything that makes you think, that presents you with new ideas, or that piques your curiosity is not simply a way to pass the time, it is also a way to exercise your brain. In order to excite the regions of your brain that are responsible for memory, logic, and comprehension, you should try to digest new information, imagine different scenarios, or follow an argument across a few pages. Additionally, when you practice this on a consistent basis, it is comparable to exercising weights for your mind. Taking the time to sit down with a thoughtful piece, a biography, or even a decent historical fiction is a significant departure from simply scrolling through the newspaper. An individual named Charles, who is 74 years old and hails from Arizona, related how he began reading science journals only a few years ago, despite the fact that he had no prior experience in the field. Not only does he now have a better understanding of the paragraphs, but he also claims that the articles provide him with something to talk about, something to think about, and something to look forward to. In the beginning, he had to reread them simply to get a hold on them. In addition, the same mental involvement is precisely what we are trying to achieve. More than just acquiring new words or expanding your knowledge, this is about maintaining the activity of your neurons. Studies have indicated that older persons who read on a daily basis have superior scores on memory tests and are less likely to have cognitive loss. The length of time you spend reading is not as important as the level of mental engagement you experience while doing so. You are enhancing your brain's capacity to maintain its sharpness by actively engaging in activities such as making connections, forecasting outcomes, or thinking on ideas. After reaching a certain age, a lot of people make the mistake of believing that the only thing that matters is physical activity. Your mind, on the other hand, needs physical activity as well. And just as walking helps your legs remain strong, reading with full focus helps your mind remain resilient. Thus, even if it has been years, you should take up a book. To get started, choose a topic that you are actually interested in. In addition, it does not have to be lengthy or elaborate. When it comes to making reading a regular part of your routine, the most important things are consistency, curiosity, and commitment. In the second place, physical activity that stimulates the brain. In addition to being beneficial for your legs and heart, walking is also a surprising technique to improve your mental focus and concentration. In particular when it is carried out outside, in the natural environment, or in a location that stimulates your senses. It is necessary for your brain to process a wide variety of information whenever you walk in unfamiliar places. All at the same time, paying attention to where you tread, taking in the scent of the breeze or the trees, listening to the birds or the traffic, and even reading the signs. Different parts of your brain are activated as a result of all of that. In no way is it thoughtless. On the contrary, it is among the most brain-stimulating forms of movement that are now available. Following the death of her husband, Patricia, who is now 81 years old, began going for little strolls across her neighborhood every morning throughout the morning hours. At first, she said that it was only to get her thoughts organized, but as time went on, she started to become aware of the fact that she was remembering more, sleeping better, and even having an easier time carrying on conversations. What started out as grieving eventually evolved into something resembling therapy. She was able to digest her feelings, breathe more deeply, and remain present thanks to her walks. It provided a destination for her mind to travel. When oxygen, circulation, and excitement are present, the brain is able to flourish, preventing it from being mired in cycles of worry or depression. And walking accomplishes all three of these things. In addition, you are assisting your brain in the formation and maintenance of neuronal connections when you move your body, particularly in a rhythmic and consistent manner. Only 5 to 10 minutes per day is sufficient to bring about change, in order to obtain the maximum mental advantage. However, here is the real secret. Don't just go for a walk. Keep an eye out. Find out about new things. Allow your thoughts to roam. The combination of this mental flexibility with light movement is one of the most effective things you can do to maintain your mental acuity. Begin at any time. It is never too late. A walk or a workout at the gym are not required activities for this. All you need to do is put on your shoes, go outside, and begin with the block that is directly in front of you. Your limbs will be grateful to you. In the same way, your brain will. I would appreciate it if you could use the second comment section below to let me know that you are continuing viewing this video and that you are finding these insights to be helpful. I strongly suggest that you subscribe to the channel and activate the bell if you have not already done so. This will ensure that you do not miss any videos. With your assistance, we are able to continue producing high-quality content that will both inform and inspire you. Let's proceed with our plans now. The third point is sustenance that is beneficial to the intellect. On a constant basis, your brain is hungry, not only for the knowledge it contains, but also for the nutrients that ensure it continues to operate at its peak. Over the course of your 70th year, your body will no longer be able to absorb or utilize nutrients as effectively as it previously did. This is the first thing that the brain perceives. Because of this, the food you consume can either maintain your intellect sharp or gradually blunt the edges of your mind. Start your day with foods that energize your brain rather than relying on sweets or missing breakfast completely. This is one of the habits that is most often disregarded when it comes to improving mental clarity. Consider Joe as an illustration of this. In the past, he would begin each morning with nothing but bread and jam. He is now 76 years old. It was his belief that a light diet would help him remain attentive. However, as time went on, he began to experience more periods of brain fog, mood swings, and even instances in which he was unable to find the appropriate words. Walnuts and other foods high in omega-3 fatty acids, as well as a small amount of protein, such as a hard-boiled egg or a handful of seeds, were recommended by his physician. Within a short period of time, Joe reported that his thinking had become more fluid, as if someone had polished the dust off of his thoughts. Particular nutrients are analogous to oil for the gears that are found in your head. The membranes of neurons are supported by omega-3 fatty acids. Inflammation can be reduced by the antioxidants found in berries. Memory is significantly impacted by vitamin B12, which is frequently deficient in elderly people. Even something as simple as drinking a glass of water first thing in the morning will help prevent the lethargic bewilderment that is caused by moderate dehydration. This is something that a lot of elderly people seem to encounter without even being aware of it. When you deprive your brain of food, it slows down. The moment it is properly nourished, it starts to shine once more. It is not necessary to purchase pricey powders or specialized vitamins. What we require has already been provided by nature. Just a few almonds, a handful of blueberries, and a piece of avocado are all you need. These tiny decisions, when taken on a regular basis, are comparable to mental insurance. Just give it a shot for a week if you ever find yourself questioning their potency. Whether you are trying to remember names or solve tiny difficulties, pay attention to how you communicate. The way in which the impacts of fast food operate might come as a surprise to you. At all times, your mind is communicating with you, but if you are not getting enough nutrients, it will begin to whisper. Confusion, irritation, and exhaustion all get in the way of those whispers, making them difficult to hear. Providing your brain with the fuel it needs to function like the amazing machine that it is will result in it remaining clear and focused. The fourth step is to construct a social network in order to strengthen the brain's resilience. A pill or a riddle is not one of the most potent protectors of a keen intellect, rather, it is individuals who are the protectors. After the age of 70, many people discover that their social groups are becoming smaller. You may find that your friends relocate, loved ones pass away, and the everyday interactions that used to fill your life begin to diminish. Being alone, however, comes at a high price. A number of studies have demonstrated, time and time again, that a considerable rise in the risk of cognitive decline is associated with social detachment, even at a rate that is faster than some physical health conditions. How come? Due to the fact that discussion, connection, and camaraderie present your intellect with challenges that no crossword puzzle could ever hope to match. Example. Take Helen as an example. 82 years old, she lives by herself. Over the course of several years, she relied on television to fill the void left by her absence. At that moment, however, something changed when her daughter recommended that she join a community book group. In the beginning, Helen was resistant, but in the end, she decided to give it a shot. She was unaware of how much her brain had missed the exchange of ideas that occurred during conversation. Especially the seemingly insignificant process of remembering someone's name or listening to a variety of perspectives. After a short period of time, her disposition improved, she regained her vocabulary, and she even started telling stories that were of a higher quality. Participating in social activities is a form of mental exercise. When you engage in conversation with other people, you are able to recollect information, read their feelings, and alter your thinking in a matter of seconds. No software could ever be able to mimic that kind of mental workout. It's not just about getting together with a large group of people, making a meaningful phone call, going for a stroll with a neighbor, or simply having a conversation with the clerk at the store. Your mind will remain active and connected to the world around you if you take full use of these moments. There is never a time when it is too late to rebuild your web. Even if you have distanced yourself from individuals over the years, begin by making contact with someone. You may even join a hobby group online, write a letter, or both. In the event that you are timid, begin with simply one person. It is important to keep in mind that you do not have to be the center of attention at every event. It is sufficient for you to be present. Not only does your brain thrive in company, but even in quiet company. This is your cue to make a change if you have been spending more time in silence than in laughter, or if you have been watching more than you have been interacting with others. Furthermore, for the sake of your mind as well as your heart, you are deserving of the sensation of being seen, heard, and remembered. Because of this, you will be able to assist your brain in being active, resilient, and alive. I would appreciate it if you could use the fourth comment section below to let me know that you are continuing viewing this video and that you are finding these insights to be helpful. I strongly suggest that you subscribe to the channel and activate the bell if you have not already done so. This will ensure that you do not miss any videos. With your assistance, we are able to continue producing high-quality content that will both inform and inspire you. Let's proceed with our plans now. Fifth, maintaining a sense of wonder on a daily basis. There is more to curiosity than just a nice quality. One of the most underestimated methods to keep your brain active is to engage in this activity. After the age of 70, it is simple to fall into habits, such as eating the same meals, watching the same television shows, and reading the same books. While it is true that the familiar can provide a sense of comfort, an excessive amount of it can cause your environment to become a loop and your thoughts to become a corridor with no doors open. Curiosity is the key that unlocks those doors. It motivates you to investigate, to inquire, and to be curious. Additionally, whenever you challenge your brain even a little bit, you are strengthening the neurological connections that are responsible for maintaining memory, attention, and the ability to solve problems. There was a man named Frank who lived in the same town for the most of his life, doing the same work, and being surrounded by the same friends. He was 78 years old. When he retired, he noticed that his days were becoming increasingly cloudy. His daughter surprised him by giving him a beginner's watercolor kit when his doctor ruled out any physical causes of his condition. Initially, he laughed it off. Then he gave it a shot. There was no artistic ability involved in what took place. It was about gaining knowledge. He was required to have knowledge of color theory, hand control, patience, and even the ability to fail. The fact that it was new was what caused his brain to light up once more. Not the artwork itself. Keeping an open mind does not mean that you have to alter your life. It involves approaching things that have been around for a long time with fresh eyes. Read about a subject that you have no prior knowledge about. Ask a younger person what music they enjoy listening to, and then listen to it all. A documentary about mushrooms, space travel, or ancient cities is something you should watch. It is a good idea to keep a notepad in which you record any queries that come to mind and then to look them up later. You can maintain the elasticity, flexibility, and youthfulness of your brain by acting on your curiosity. The reason why curiosity is effective is because it stimulates a number of different regions of the brain simultaneously. Especially if you are doing something with your hands. You are activating not only your memory but also your emotions, your logic, and frequently your movement. Also, and perhaps most crucially, it provides a sense of purpose to your day, an item to anticipate and look forward to, a difficult obstacle to overcome. Especially if it is a minor one. It is not always the case that getting more rest or taking another supplement is the solution to the problem of feeling mentally stuck. There is a possibility that it is just a wonder. Offer yourself the opportunity to be ignorant about something. Feel free to let that lack of knowledge take you to new places. It is not necessary for you to be an expert. You only need to be concerned enough to get started. It is that the spark of interest that you have is the same thing that continues to keep your mind sharp and your soul fresh. Lastly, some thoughts. Doing one major thing is not the only way to maintain mental acuity after the age of 70. It is about incorporating a few powerful, modest habits into your daily routine that will keep your mind active, your self-confidence developing, and your joy alive. It doesn't matter if it's acquiring new knowledge, maintaining social relationships, ensuring that your brain receives the appropriate nourishment, taking care of your body, or simply maintaining a sense of curiosity. You can change the way you feel about becoming older by taking each of these measures. In addition, they do not call for a significant amount of work or change in lifestyle. This will just take 3 minutes, 5 minutes of time there. A small amount of consistency can go a very long way. What is it that especially strikes out to you? What is one thing that you already do? Or is there something that you wish to begin doing right now? It could be that you have been intending to get back in touch with an old buddy, or that you have been putting off trying out that pastime for a long time. Or perhaps you have come to the realization that it has been quite some time since you have read a book or gone for a walk without any interruptions. It does not matter what it is. What is essential is that you take action on it. When we put off taking care of our thoughts for a longer period of time, it becomes more difficult to retrieve what we have lost. On the other hand, the good news is that the brain continues to be malleable even during our 80s and beyond. It is not too late for you to make progress. If you want to start afresh, you are not too far advanced. The fact that you took the time to watch this film in its entirety conveys a certain message to me. You are concerned. You are willing to do so. You want to have a sense of vitality, not only in your body but also in your mind. To put it simply, that is the deciding factor. We appreciate you being here with us today. It would be wonderful if you could get in touch with us. Please leave a comment below and tell us about one item you discovered today and how you intend to put it to use in your life right now. We place a high value on your opinions, so please do not be reluctant to share them with us. Our inspiration and encouragement are greatly increased as a result of reading your remarks. I would appreciate it if you would like, subscribe, and share this video if you found it to be informative and enjoyable. With your assistance, we are able to continue producing high-quality content that will both inform and inspire you. We appreciate you taking the time to watch, and we hope to see you in the future video.